Hey guys, Wes here. So first I'm going to tell you some exciting news before I get to the update. I don't know if you could tell yet, but from the video quality, I actually got my new phone. I got the Galaxy S5 like I said I was going to get a long time ago. Excuse me. And I also said that I was going to be putting out videos in 4K, but unfortunately that's not going to work. I'm not sure if it's the size of my memory card or if that's just how they made the video format, but you can only record up to 5 minutes of 4K video on the Galaxy S5, at least for me. I'm not sure if it's because I only have an 8GB memory card. So unfortunately I'm just going to be shooting in 1080p, but hopefully it's a little bit better than my phone last time, because I did have the Galaxy S2, which sounds very old, but it did shoot in 1080p, and I'm guessing that this one is going to be a little bit higher quality since it is such a new phone and they've improved their lens and their software and stuff like that. So that's just kind of my beginning news, but now on to the update. So last time you saw this tank was when I put in the Stargrass, but unfortunately the Stargrass melted, and what I did was I cut off the top section of all the stems, because the rest of the bottom of the stems were kind of melted and died off, and there wasn't really any green. It was basically only sprouting at the top of all the stems. So I just have those, and some of the shorter ones have been uprooted, and I just picked those out and threw them away. So basically, I think there's probably about 10 stems left. I did start with probably 15, maybe a little bit more, but I just have this left, and I'm hoping that it bounces back. Unfortunately, my Ludwigia repens didn't, but I'm hoping this will, because I haven't really had a plant in that back left corner for a long time, and it would be really exciting to see it take off. Excuse me. Other than that, the Crypspiralis in the kind of back right section behind the driftwood has been doing very well as usual. I think it's not growing quite as tall and not quite as thick because the light is so bright, and Crypts aren't super light intensive, or their light requirements aren't very high, so it's staying a little bit more short. And then the Cryptowendity is staying short as well, but I think it's always basically been like that. Again, from the light intensity. And then I actually did keep the Pygmy Chainsword. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the last video, but that has basically been sustaining. It hasn't been doing very much at all, unfortunately. A plant that I always forget about because it blends in, I have the Pinwheel Sword right at the end of my fingertip right there. All the big leaves on that melted, so I cut off the larger leaves, and I would say there's probably at least 8 or 9 smaller leaves growing out of it right now. I'm not sure if that's going to get tall or not. It hasn't really done a whole lot since I've got it, and it's been a while, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect. Excuse me. The Micro Sword has been doing surprisingly well. Can I zoom in? I can zoom in. Okay. I haven't played around with the video on this yet. But my Micro Sword has been sending off some runners, thankfully. You can see the plant on the right has some runners going towards the front of the glass and kind of going into the back left corner toward the Stargrass, and the plant on the left side is kind of sending out a runner to the left and towards the filter intake. So that's exciting. I'm really glad I decided to keep those pots in one piece, and I'm very grateful to Planted Aquarium Central for sending me an extra pot on the house. Like I always say, I love Planted Aquarium Central. I highly recommend that you check out their website. It's Planted Aquariums Central. That's aquarium with an S on the end, don't forget that. They are not sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form. I'm just really happy with my service with them. So now I'm just going to try and get some closer shots here. Hopefully it's not too blurry, since it is a optical zoom. you can see the pinwheel in the back right corner, like I mentioned earlier. That is the one that hasn't been doing very much since I've got it, unfortunately. But some exciting news on the fish side of the aquarium hobby. You can see my Cory right there. That is my adult Julie Cory that I have had for about, I would say maybe a year. Or I think I got him at the same time I got the Harlequin Rasboras, and I've had him for a very long time, and I decided to get him some friends. So there's actually 2 more Corys over there. You can see one's moving around and one's kind of sitting in between the leaves of the crypt. Oh, there he goes. So I got him 2 buddies, and they have been doing great. The Otto, I'm not exactly sure where he finds food, but he's just been doing okay, I guess. He hasn't gotten much bigger, I don't think. There isn't a whole lot of algae in this tank anymore. You can see him resting on the leaf right below the air stone. But I've never seen him acting weird or spazzing out or laying on the bottom or anything. I guess he might just be sucking on the driftwood and getting nutrients out of there. But he just hangs out, basically. The Nerite snail is somewhere in there. I see him zooming around every once in a while. But other than that, the Harlequin Rasboras, I still have all 7. There was kind of a, how do you say it? Just kind of one that they left out, kind of. I guess, oh, the runt. He was kind of the runt of the group. But I can't distinguish him anymore because they're all nice and big, and I think I can tell the females from the males because the females have bigger bellies, and every once in a while I see them laying eggs on the leaves of the crypt Wendidae. And like I said, I think a while ago I made a video about it, and I don't expect any fry out of them. I don't have quite the right parameters for the fry to hatch, but seeing them lay eggs and breed is a good sign that they're happy and healthy and everything's just going great in this tank. And then last but not least, the big angelfish in the top left corner. He is, I'm guessing he's grown. It's hard to tell over time, but if I looked at pictures that I have of him when I first got him, I'm sure he would look much bigger, but he is actually, I would say, 5 inches top to bottom from to the top of his top fin and down to his lower fin. And his body is a little more than a $50, I would say. Maybe like an inch and a half across. And he's been doing great. He usually doesn't really go after the Rasboras at all, but you saw he kind of went after him a little bit right there. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry, but he's kept his nice blue color. His fins have been turning a really nice blue color, and I think it's helping that I'm feeding a variety of food. I feed Tetracolor and Omega-1 freeze-dried bloodworms. So yeah, he's been doing well, and all the plants have been doing well. I'm happy that the microswords are sending out runners. Hopefully the stargrass will kind of kick into gear and start growing a little bit more. And yeah, that's basically all I have for this update. Oh, and also, I wonder if I could get a really zoomed in shot, but you can see on the driftwood right there, there's some little sprigs coming up, and that is actually the Taiwan moss that I tied on here a long time ago. You can see more of it on that kind of arm. Oh, there's actually a plant up there. I didn't see that, actually. No, there goes some stargrass. But the Taiwan moss has been sitting kind of dormant on the driftwood, and it's kind of growing a little bit. So I'm hoping that gets nice and bushy eventually, since it's now showing signs of life. I'm hoping it gets nice and bushy like the peacock moss in the beta tank, because I'm really happy with how that looks, and that would just look so cool on this spider driftwood. So yeah, I think that's all I have for this update. I want to thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I love seeing that number go up, and I actually have a surprise for everyone once I hit 100. Stay tuned. Give this video a thumbs up as well. I love seeing that. And if you have any feedback or an opinion or anything you want to say about my tanks or to me, or just leave a comment and I will always respond to the comments. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.